At 2:17 a.m. local time over the Red Sea, a radar warning blared in the cockpit of America's most advanced stealth bomber. January 12, 2024. What began as a routine mission suddenly became a high-stakes combat encounter as multiple heat signatures streaked toward the $2 billion aircraft. In the darkness above international waters off Yemen's coast, Houthi rebels had just attempted the unthinkable, to shoot down the world's stealthiest plane. But how do you hit what you can't see? And what happens when you target the wrong stealth bomber? The first indication of trouble came from specialized sensors aboard the B-2 Spirit. Flying at 45,000 feet in the dark skies over the Red Sea, the bomber's defensive systems detected multiple missile launches from positions along Yemen's western coastline. Within seconds, the aircraft's threat warning system identified the incoming projectiles as modified R-27 surface-to-air missiles, weapons that shouldn't have been in Houthi hands at all. At that same moment, radar operators aboard the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower Carrier Strike Group detected a swarm of unidentified aerial vehicles rising from Houthi-controlled territory. The drones moved in a coordinated pattern, clearly targeting the airspace where American aircraft were operating. This wasn't a random attack. It was a deliberate, coordinated attempt to bring down one of America's most valuable military assets. The B-2's two-person crew immediately executed their defensive protocols. While the pilot initiated evasive maneuvers, the mission commander activated the aircraft's suite of electronic countermeasures. What followed was a high-tech battle of technological cat and mouse that would test the limits of American stealth technology against increasingly sophisticated non-state actors. The B-2 Spirit represents the pinnacle of American stealth technology. This flying wing, with its distinctive bat-like silhouette, revolutionized aerial warfare when it first flew in 1989. What makes the B-2 special is its ability to penetrate the most sophisticated air defense systems undetected, deliver precision strikes, and return home safely. Cost: $2.1 billion per aircraft. Range: 6,900 miles without refueling. Payload: 40,000 pounds of conventional or nuclear weapons. Fleet size: just 20 aircraft in existence. The bomber's stealth capability comes from its unique shape, special radar-absorbing materials, and hidden engine exhausts that minimize both radar and heat signatures. For more than 3 decades, the B-2 has been America's ultimate penetrating bomber, capable of striking anywhere on Earth with near impunity. The Houthi movement, formerly known as Ansar Allah, supporters of God, emerged from Yemen's northern highlands in the 1990s. What began as a Zaydi Shia religious revival transformed over decades into a powerful armed faction that now controls much of western Yemen, including the capital city of Sana'a. Since 2014, the Houthis have been locked in a brutal civil war against Yemen's internationally recognized government, which is supported by a Saudi-led coalition. This conflict has created one of the world's worst humanitarian crises, with millions facing starvation and disease. The Houthis receive significant support from Iran, which provides weapons, training, and technical expertise. Their official slogan, "God is great, death to America, death to Israel, curse on the Jews, victory to Islam," clearly establishes their ideological opposition to the United States and its allies. In recent months, the Houthis have escalated their campaign against international shipping in the Red Sea, claiming solidarity with Hamas in the ongoing Gaza conflict. This campaign has disrupted global trade routes and prompted an international naval response. The attack on January 12, 2024 represented a significant escalation, directly targeting American military aircraft operating over international waters approximately 30 miles off Yemen's western coast. The most puzzling aspect of this incident is how the Houthis could have detected a stealth bomber specifically designed to evade the world's most sophisticated air defense systems. 3 distinct theories have emerged. Theory A: state-backed detection. Iran, which actively supports the Houthis, has invested heavily in counter-stealth radar technology. These systems, potentially including Russian-designed low-frequency radars, can sometimes detect the general presence of stealth aircraft, though with less precision than would typically be needed for targeting. Intelligence reports suggest Iranian technical advisors may have been operating these systems from positions within Yemen. Theory B. Thermal detection. Even the stealthiest aircraft still produce heat. Advanced Infrared Search and Track (IRST) systems can potentially detect a B-2's engine exhaust or the friction-heated leading edges of its wings, especially when viewed from certain angles. The Houthis may have acquired sophisticated IRST systems through their Iranian connections. Theory C. Intelligence network. The most concerning possibility involves neither radar nor infrared detection, but human intelligence. The Houthis might have received advance information about the B-2's deployment through espionage networks monitoring U.S. bases in the region. Alternatively, they could have pieced together clues from open-source intelligence like aircraft spotters or satellite imagery showing support activities. Analysis from defense experts suggests the most probable explanation combines elements of theories A and C. The Houthis likely had advanced intelligence about U.S. air operations in the region and used Iranian-supplied low-frequency radar to detect an aircraft entering their sensor coverage. However, the precision of their targeting suggests they mistook the specific aircraft type, a crucial error that would ultimately save the B-2. What exactly does it mean that the Houthis targeted the wrong B-2? Three possibilities explain this intriguing aspect of the incident. The Houthis may have detected a large American aircraft but misidentified its type. While the B-2's distinctive shape is unlike any other aircraft, limited radar returns or partial infrared signatures could have been misinterpreted. They might have believed they were targeting a B-2 when they were actually tracking a different aircraft entirely, such as a B-1B Lancer bomber or even a large reconnaissance aircraft. More sophisticated explanation involves deliberate deception by U.S. forces. Electronic warfare aircraft like the EA-18G Growler can generate false radar returns mimicking other aircraft. In this scenario, U.S. planners may have created electronic decoys appearing to be B-2 bombers specifically to lure out and identify Houthi air defenses, a classic wild weasel tactic updated for the stealth era. The Houthis may have correctly identified a B-2 but failed to recognize the strategic significance of attacking such a high-value American asset. In this scenario, they targeted the wrong B-2, not in terms of aircraft identification, but in terms of strategic calculation, choosing a target that would inevitably provoke a severe American response beyond what they anticipated. Intelligence assessments lean toward the decoy operation theory. The precision of the Houthi targeting suggests they genuinely believed they were engaging a B-2, but post-incident analysis reveals no actual B-2 was in the exact location targeted. This points to a sophisticated electronic deception operation designed to map Houthi air defense capabilities while keeping actual high-value assets at safe distances. At 2:17 a.m., multiple R-27 missiles launched from mobile platforms near Yemen's western coast. Originally designed as Soviet air-to-air missiles, these weapons had been modified for surface-to-air use, a technical achievement requiring considerable expertise. The missiles accelerated to over Mach 2.5, climbing rapidly toward their target altitude of approximately 45,000 feet. The targeted aircraft immediately deployed a sophisticated array of defensive systems. Electronic jammers broadcast signals designed to confuse the missile's guidance systems, while flare dispensers ejected high-temperature decoys to draw away any infrared-guided weapons. The aircraft executed a series of subtle course and altitude changes, enough to complicate targeting without compromising its stealth characteristics. FA-18. Super Hornets from the USS Eisenhower, flying combat air patrol nearby, immediately targeted the missile launch sites. Using targeting data shared through secure networks, the fighters launched precision munitions at the mobile launchers. Simultaneously, the carrier's electronic warfare aircraft began jamming Houthi command and control frequencies. disrupting their ability to coordinate the drone swarm that formed the second wave of the attack. Within 4 minutes of the initial missile launch, U.S. forces had neutralized the immediate threat and begun a counteroffensive against the Houthi air defense network. Not a single missile reached its intended target. As the missile attack unfolded, a second threat emerged from Houthi territory. Approximately 24 small unmanned aerial vehicles rose from multiple launch sites, forming a coordinated swarm pattern. These weren't crude commercial drones, but purpose-built attack platforms with shaped explosive charges, specifically designed to damage aircraft. The drone swarm represented an evolution in Houthi capabilities. By using multiple simple platforms attacking simultaneously from different directions, they hoped to overwhelm traditional defenses. Even if individual drones lacked sophisticated guidance, the sheer number created a statistical probability of successful strikes. American forces countered this threat using multiple systems. Navy EA-18G Growlers deployed electronic warfare techniques to sever the command links between the drones and their operators. When this proved only partially successful against autonomous drones, laser-based counter-drone systems aboard accompanying aircraft disabled several more by overheating their control systems. The remaining drones were engaged by close-in weapon systems from naval vessels and defensive fire from patrolling fighters. The multi-layered defense proved effective, but the sophistication of the swarm attack surprised many military analysts. It demonstrated a level of tactical coordination previously unseen in Houthi operations. Within hours of the failed attack, the U.S. military launched a coordinated response against Houthi military infrastructure. The operation, codenamed Decisive Shield, involved 38 precision strike missions against air defense installations, 12 cruise missile launches targeting underground command bunkers, coordinated cyber operations disrupting Houthi communications networks. Unlike previous limited strikes against Houthi launch facilities, this operation specifically targeted the group's strategic military infrastructure. Precision-guided munitions struck radar installations, missile storage facilities, and command and control centers across Pentagon. Officials confirmed that the strikes employed both sea-launched Tomahawk cruise missiles and air-delivered munitions from carrier-based aircraft. Satellite imagery released 48 hours after the operation showed extensive damage to multiple Houthi military facilities, particularly their air defense network. The speed and scale of the American response sent a clear message. Attacks on high-value U.S. military assets would trigger disproportionate consequences. Defense analysts noted this represented a significant escalation in the U.S. posture toward Houthi forces, moving from limited retaliation against specific launch sites to broader strikes against military infrastructure. The failed attack and subsequent American response triggered a cascade of strategic consequences throughout the region. Within days, satellite imagery showed Iranian naval vessels that had been operating near Yemen's coast withdrawing to safer waters. Intelligence sources reported heightened communications between Iranian advisors and Houthi leadership, suggesting serious reassessment of their tactics. For U.S. military planners, the incident prompted immediate changes to operational security around high-value air assets. Flight patterns, electronic emissions, and support operations for stealth aircraft received enhanced protection measures. Sources within the Pentagon indicated that deployment protocols for B-2 bombers would undergo comprehensive review before future missions to the region. The most significant long-term impact may be on the perception of stealth technology's vulnerabilities. While no actual B-2 was damaged in the incident, the apparent ability of a non-state actor to detect and target what should have been an invisible aircraft raised serious questions. Defense contractors working on next-generation platforms like the B-21 Raider reportedly accelerated development of enhanced counter-detection systems in direct response to the incident. Regional allies quickly aligned behind the American response. Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates offered additional intelligence support for operations against Houthi air defenses. Israel, concerned about similar capabilities potentially reaching Hamas or Hezbollah, reportedly shared specialized electronic warfare techniques specifically designed to counter the types of detection systems used in the attack. The B-2's stealth technology was designed in the 1980s to defeat Soviet-era radar systems. Its shape scatters radar energy away from receivers, while special materials absorb remaining signals. However, as with all military technology, countermeasures have evolved in parallel. Modern anti-stealth systems approach detection from multiple angles. Low-frequency radars can detect stealth aircraft but lack precision for targeting. Infrared search systems look for engine heat rather than radar returns. Passive detection systems identify when normal background radiation is blocked. Networked sensors combine multiple weak detections into actionable intelligence. Future stealth aircraft like the B-21 Raider incorporate lessons from these evolving threats. More comprehensive radar-absorbing materials effective across broader frequency ranges. Advanced cooling systems that further reduce infrared signatures. Active countermeasures that can jam or deceive incoming sensors. Operational tactics that minimize exposure to known detection methods. The incident demonstrates the fundamental truth about stealth technology. It's not invisibility, but rather a significant reduction in detectability that creates tactical advantages. As detection technology advances, stealth designs must evolve in response. World powers responded to the incident based largely on their strategic interests in the region and relationship with the involved parties. Russia and China paid particular attention to the technical aspects of the engagement. Chinese military publications produced detailed analyses of potential B-2 vulnerabilities exposed by the incident, while Russian state media emphasized the growing sophistication of counter-stealth technologies. Both nations have invested heavily in detecting American stealth platforms, and this real-world test provided valuable insights despite the attack's failure. Saudi Arabia and other Gulf Cooperation Council members publicly supported the American response, seeing it as reinforcing deterrence against Iranian-backed groups throughout the region. Kuwait and Bahrain offered expanded access to military facilities for U.S. forces involved in follow-up operations. These nations, which have faced their own Houthi attacks, welcomed the more forceful American posture. The United Nations Security Council convened an emergency session, but failed to produce a unified statement due to Russian and Chinese objections to language condemning the Houthi attack. Iran officially denied involvement, but quietly opened back-channel communications with American representatives through Omani intermediaries, seeking to prevent further escalation that might directly implicate Iranian forces. European allies expressed concern about the potential disruption to maritime commerce, but generally supported the measured American military response. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg characterized the incident as a dangerous escalation by non-state actors possessing increasingly sophisticated weapon systems. The failed attack revealed three critical insights that are reshaping military thinking about aerial operations in contested environments. The incident confirms what military planners have long suspected: no aircraft is completely undetectable against all sensor types. Future operations must assume at least partial detection capability by adversaries, even those without state-level resources. This doesn't make stealth obsolete, but changes how it's employed tactically. The coordinated drone attack represents a new paradigm in asymmetric warfare. Large numbers of relatively simple platforms can create complex defensive challenges even for sophisticated military forces. Countering such swarms requires multi-layered defenses combining electronic warfare, kinetic interceptors, and directed energy weapons. The technical sophistication shown by the Houthis, combining multiple detection methods, missile systems, and drone swarms, demonstrates how advanced air defense capabilities are spreading beyond state actors. This trend will reshape how air campaigns are planned and executed in future conflicts. Military analysts point to these lessons as accelerating existing trends in air warfare development. The U.S. Air Force's Next Generation Air Dominance program, which will complement the B-21 Raider bomber, reportedly shifted some development priorities toward enhanced counter-detection capabilities in direct response to the incident. Behind the technology and tactics lies the human dimension of the incident. The B-2 crew's rapid response to incoming threats demonstrated the exceptional training that stealth bomber pilots undergo. Their ability to maintain the aircraft's stealth profile while executing defensive maneuvers represents a pinnacle of aviation skill. Similarly, the command decisions to launch an immediate and substantial retaliatory strike reflect evolving American strategic thinking about deterrence. The calculated escalation, striking military infrastructure rather than just launch sites, showed a willingness to impose costs that outweigh any potential benefits Houthi forces might gain from attacking high-value U.S. assets. On the Houthi side, the attack revealed both technical sophistication and strategic miscalculation. The technical capability to coordinate complex, multi-domain attacks suggests significant external support and training. However, the decision to target or appear to target a B-2 bomber reflects either overconfidence in their capabilities or a fundamental misunderstanding of likely American responses. This human dimension, the calculation of risks, costs, and benefits under pressure, ultimately determines how technological capabilities are employed. In this case, American forces demonstrated superior decision-making that maximized their technological advantages and minimized vulnerabilities. 6 months after the incident, several enduring consequences have emerged. The U.S. military has adjusted its force posture in the region, maintaining a continuous presence of air defense specialists and electronic warfare assets. Stealth aircraft deployments continue, but with enhanced security measures and different operational patterns. Houthi forces have largely refrained from directly targeting American military assets, focusing instead on commercial shipping, suggesting they recognize the attack crossed a threshold that brought disproportionate response. Their air defense network, severely degraded by American strikes, has only partially recovered. The technological insights gained from the incident have accelerated defense programs in multiple countries. Counter-drone systems, passive detection networks, and advanced electronic warfare capabilities have received increased funding across NATO allies. Perhaps most significantly, the successful defense against what should have been an impossible detection has reinforced a core military truth. Technological advantages are always temporary. The continuous cycle of measure and countermeasure ensures that today's revolutionary capability becomes tomorrow's vulnerable legacy system. Recently declassified intelligence has transformed our understanding of the January 12th incident. Pentagon sources now confirm the Houthi attack employed a complex three-layered air defense strategy far exceeding initial assessments. Satellite imagery shows the rebels activated 3 separate air defense clusters along Yemen's western coastline in a carefully orchestrated sequence, creating overlapping detection zones specifically designed to catch even low observable aircraft. The pattern wasn't random or opportunistic. Analysis of radar activation timestamps shows a sophisticated trap configuration. Primary radars remained mostly dormant until secondary passive sensors detected potential targets, at which point the entire network activated in a synchronized pattern lasting just 94 seconds. This brief activation window minimized detection risk while maximizing coverage effectiveness. Such operational discipline represents a significant evolution in Houthi air defense tactics previously considered well beyond their indigenous capabilities. Most concerning to Western intelligence agencies was the precision timing of the engagement sequence. The Houthis employed a disciplined emissions control protocol, keeping their radar systems inactive until the critical moment, then coordinating near-simultaneous missile launches from geographically separated locations. This approach demonstrated both technical expertise and tactical sophistication typically associated with state-level military operations, not non-state actors. Despite continued official denials, forensic evidence now conclusively links Iran to the attack hardware. Analysis of missile fragments recovered by Navy SEAL teams in a classified operation 3 days after the incident revealed components manufactured as recently as October 2023. The guidance systems contain specialized microelectronics traced to facilities associated with Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps Aerospace Division, not repurposed Cold War technology as initially suspected. Technical analysis of the radar emissions captured during the attack revealed frequency hopping patterns and encryption protocols identical to those documented in Iranian air defense exercises conducted last September. The specific electronic signatures match those from Iran's Khordad air defense system, suggesting either direct technology transfer or on-site operation by Iranian specialists. Most alarming to Pentagon analysts was the discovery that the missiles employed advanced counter-digital systems designed specifically to penetrate Western electronic warfare protections. The countermeasures appeared calibrated against specific American jamming techniques, suggesting Iranian defense engineers had been systematically studying and adapting to U.S. electronic warfare capabilities, possibly through data collected during previous Gulf encounters. Military officials have now confirmed the wrong B-2 theory that circulated in defense circles. The operation centered on a sophisticated electronic deception campaign designed to map Houthi air defense capabilities while protecting actual high-value assets. An EA-18G Growler electronic warfare aircraft projected carefully crafted electromagnetic signatures mimicking those of a B-2 bomber while flying a completely different flight path. The deception employed the Navy's next-generation jammer mid-band NGJMB system, creating what appeared on Houthi radars as a stealth bomber penetrating Yemeni airspace, while the actual Growler remained in international airspace following a separate trajectory. This electronic phantom triggered exactly the response U.S. intelligence sought: full activation of the Houthi air defense network, revealing its composition, capabilities, and command protocols. The operation succeeded brilliantly, but at considerable risk, as the Growler deliberately made itself detectable to map the full extent of Houthi radar coverage. Post-incident analysis revealed one missile detonated approximately 2,300 feet from the American aircraft, significantly closer than previously acknowledged in public briefings. The actual B-2 bombers operating in the region remained completely undetected throughout the engagement, conducting their mission profile at a safe distance while the electronic deception operation unfolded. This validation of the B-2's continued effectiveness against emerging threats has reinforced Air Force confidence in the platform despite its aging technology baseline. Technical analysis of recovered drone fragments has substantially revised initial assessments of Houthi unmanned capabilities. Far from simple commercial drones with explosive payloads, the captured specimens revealed sophisticated military-grade systems with multiple specialized variants. The most numerous type carried conventional explosive warheads with advanced proximity fuses designed to detonate near aircraft without requiring direct impact. However, intelligence officials were startled to discover 4 specialized electronic warfare variants among the wreckage. These units carried no explosives but instead housed compact jamming systems targeting specific frequency bands used by American aircraft for navigation and communication. Forensic analysis of the drone flight control systems revealed sophisticated autonomous target recognition capabilities. The onboard processors contain machine learning algorithms trained to distinguish between aircraft types using infrared and visual signatures, with specific parameters focused on American aircraft, including FA-18 Super Hornets and support aircraft. This level of targeting sophistication strongly suggests access to advanced technical data and training resources typically controlled by state-level military organizations. Recently declassified operational reports reveal the electronic countermeasures employed against the Houthi attack were far more extensive than initially disclosed. Beyond traditional defensive systems, the operation involved a coordinated electronic warfare campaign across multiple platforms and domains. The targeted EA-18G Growler aircraft deployed the AN/ALQ-249 next-generation jammer in one of its first combat operations since achieving initial capability. This system simultaneously generated false targets across multiple radar bands, jammed missile guidance frequencies, and disrupted Houthi command networks using precisely directed high-power microwave energy. Supporting Navy vessels contributed additional electronic warfare coverage, creating a multi-layered defensive electronic bubble. Particularly effective was a classified technique called ghost returns that created multiple false targets with flight characteristics mimicking the actual aircraft. This technique fragmented the Houthi targeting solution, forcing their systems to track multiple phantom signatures simultaneously. When missiles launched, these false signatures attracted several weapons that detonated harmlessly miles from any actual aircraft. Space-based assets played a previously undisclosed role in the defensive operation. Classified electromagnetic monitoring satellites provided real-time tracking of Houthi radar emissions, allowing immediate characterization and jamming of threat frequencies. This orbital support enabled American electronic warfare officers to precisely target countermeasures against specific emitters, effectively neutralizing the integrated air defense network without requiring kinetic strikes against each installation. The failed Houthi attempt to target a B-2 stealth bomber, or what they believed was one, demonstrates both the enduring value of stealth technology and its evolving limitations. Despite advances in detection systems and their proliferation to non-state actors, properly employed stealth aircraft remain extraordinarily difficult to target effectively. The incident reveals the central paradox of modern air warfare. Absolute invisibility is impossible, but significant reduction in detectability continues to provide decisive military advantages. The B-2, even as a mature platform nearing retirement, demonstrated resilience against a sophisticated multi-domain attack. For military planners worldwide, the key lesson is clear. Stealth isn't invulnerability. It requires supporting tactics, electronic countermeasures, and intelligent employment to remain effective. As non-state actors continue leveling up their capabilities, the technological race between detection and evasion accelerates. Next time, the question won't be whether the aging B-2 can survive such encounters, but whether its successor, the B-21 Raider, has incorporated the right lessons from this incident to maintain America's edge in the increasingly contested skies of tomorrow's conflicts. The invisible war between stealth and detection continues, with each side claiming temporary advantages in an endless cycle of technological evolution. Thanks for watching another episode. While you are still here, make sure to click on the video on your screen for more quality content.